Good morning students, welcome back to your maths class. My name is Ayushi. In the previous videos and the Zoom sessions we have completed with our chapter number 2, linear equations in one variable. Today we have to start the new chapter, chapter 3, understanding quadrilaterals. First of all, we have to talk about the curves. Curves. What is a curve? A plane curve is a curve which lie in a single plane surface like a paper or a board. A plane curve may be closed or open. Beta, what is a curve? Curve is any line, any such thing, okay? And we have two types of curve. One is a plane curve and the other is a non-plane curve. Plane curve is a curve which lies in a single plane surface, okay? Like see, this is a board. This line is lying entirely inside the board. It's not coming out of the board. Similarly, this circle, this ellipse, these are also lying inside the board only. They are not emerging out of the surface. So these curves, this circle, ellipse, this particular curve, these are called plane curves, okay? Then again, curves can be of two types, open curve and closed curve. Open curve is a curve which has two endpoints, okay? If a curve has two endpoints, like here see, this is one endpoint and this is one endpoint, such a curve is not closed and hence it is known as an open curve. Then again, we have closed curve. When a curve has no endpoint, see this circle, we cannot see any endpoint here. This ellipse, again here it has no endpoint. A curve like this, again this also, a curve like this also has no endpoint and it is closed from all the sides. Therefore, we can say this is also a closed curve. Next, we have to talk about the polygons. You might have studied about the polygons in your junior classes. What is a polygon? A polygon is a closed plane figure bounded by three or more straight lines that meet in pairs in the same number of vertices and do not intersect other than at these vertices. Okay, this means first of all, polygon is a closed figure. Okay, this has to be a closed plane figure which is bounded by three or more straight lines. So this means polygon is made up of only line segments. It has to be closed. It has to be made up of only line segments and has to be in one plane, okay? It cannot emerge out of the plane. If any curve is emerging out of the plane, then it won't be a polygon. If any curve is not made up of just line segments, it is made up of some other curves as well. For example, this is a semicircle. This we know is a line segment. But this is not a line segment, so we cannot call this as a polygon. This is a triangle. See, this is also line segment, this is also line segment, this side also is a line segment. So such curves which are plane made up of only line segments are known as polygons. Next, we have parts of a polygon. What are the various parts of a polygon? First of all, we have diagonal of a polygon. A diagonal of the polygon is any line which joins two non-consecutive vertices. See here in this polygon, it is a polygon because it is made up of only line segments, as you can see. Then again see, if we join this vertex, and this vertex, we get this line. This line is joining two non-consecutive vertices, so such lines will be called a diagonal. We have a formula to find out the number of diagonals within a polygon if n is the number of sides of a polygon. Okay, if a polygon is of n number of sides, then the number of diagonals will be n into n minus 3 upon 2. This is the formula. We can also express this formula in this form, n square minus 3n upon 2. So this gives us the number of diagonals inside a polygon. Example, see, if we have a triangle A, We have this triangle A, B and C. See, what are there any non-consecutive ends? No, a triangle does not have any non-consecutive ends. Okay, all the ends are consecutive. So here we will be having no diagonal. Let's prove this with the help of this formula. N means the number of sides of the polygon. A triangle has 3 sides. So for a triangle, N equals to 3. If we substitute this value, if we keep the value of N as 3 here, we get 3 into 3 minus 3 upon 2. 3 minus 3 is 0. So 3 into 0 upon 2, this gives us 0. Hence, there are 0 diagonals inside a triangle. Next, if we have a quadrilateral. Quadrilateral has 4 sides, so N equals to 4. Okay, now we know if this is the quadrilateral ABCD, non-consecutive ends are A and C, B and D. Okay, so practically we know there are 2 diagonals in here. Let's prove this with the help of this formula also. In place of N, we can put the value 4. So 4 into 4 minus 3 upon 2. This gives us the value 4 by 2 into 1, that is 2. So there has to be 2 diagonals within a quadrilateral. Here also we are having 2 diagonals. So this means our formula stands correct. Okay. So this is the formula which gives us the number of diagonals inside a polygon. N into N minus 3 upon 2. Next we have different types of curves. One is the convex curve. Okay. Convex curve is a curve. See, in a convex curve, no interior angle can be greater than 180. See, this angle is also less than 180, this is also less than 180, this is also less than 180, this is also less than 180 and this is also less than 180. A curve in which all the interior angles are less than 180 is known as a convex curve. The next we have a simple curve. Simple curve does not intersect its side. Okay, if a curve is a closed curve and no side intersect each other, the curve does not intersect each other, then it is known as a simple curve. Then we have irregular curve. Irregular curve does not have congruent sides and interior angles. Okay. Congruent side, that means the sides are not equal and also the angles, there is no proportion within the angles also. So this is known as an irregular curve. Next we have a concave curve. Concave curve is a curve where at least one angle is greater than 180. See, this angle here, interior angle is greater than 180. So this curve is known as a concave curve. Next we have a complex curve. Complex curve is a curve where the sides intersect each other. Here you can see the sides of the curves are intersecting each other. So such a curve is known as complex curve. Next we have a regular curve. Regular curve is a curve where all the sides and angles, interior angles are equal to one another. This implies this side is equals to this side, is equals to this side, is equals to this and this. That means all the sides are equal and also all of the interior angles are also equal to one another. So such a curve where all the angles and sides are equal is known as a regular curve. Next, we have the classification of polygons. Okay, depending upon how many sides a polygon has, it has different names. If a polygon has 3 sides, it is known as a triangle. If a polygon has 4 sides, it is known as a quadrilateral. If a polygon has 5 sides, it's known as a pentagon. 6 sides is known as a hexagon. 7 sides is known as a heptagon. 8 sides is known as an octagon. 9 sides is known as a nonagon. And 10 side polygon is known as a decagon. As you can see, you also have the figures here. Next we have the sum of interior angles of a polygon. Okay, interior angles are the angles which are lying inside the curve. Okay, so inside the polygon we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 angles. This is a pentagon, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 sides. Therefore this is a pentagon and there are 5 angles and 5 sides. Okay, so sum of the angles of a polygon is given by the formula n minus 2 into 180. Okay, so this is our formula for finding this formula will be using for finding the sum of the interior angles of a polygon. Interior angle means the angles which are inside the polygon. Okay, so the sum of interior angles is equals to n by 2 into 180. For example, if suppose we have to find out the sum of the angles of a triangle. In a triangle we know n equals to 3. Triangle has 3 sides, so putting this value in this formula, 3 minus 2 into 180. This implies 1 into 180. This means the sum of all the angles of the triangle is 180. This we have already done in the junior classes. What is the angle sum property for the triangle? The angle sum property of the triangle states that the sum of all the angles of a triangle is equivalent to 180 degree. Okay. Next, for a quadrilateral. Any quadrilateral has 4 sides. So n equals to 4 here. If we apply this formula, n minus 2 into 180. So 4 minus 2 into 180. 2 into 180. This is equals to 360. That means the sum of all the angles of a quadrilateral is equals to 360. Okay. This is for the interior angles. We also have exterior angles. The angles which are outside, which are forming this outside the polygon, these are known as the exterior angles. The sum of the exterior angles of any polygon is always 360. No matter what polygon we have, whether it is a triangle, quadrilateral, pentagon, hexagon, no matter what polygon it is, no matter how many sides does it have, the sum of the exterior angles is always 360. Next, see, we can calculate this with the help of this table also. If the number of sides in a polygon is 3, we can put the value here, n minus 2 into 180. N minus 2 into 180. This is a formula here. Okay. So for a triangle, there are 3 sides. So 3 minus 2 into 180. This gives us the value 180. This implies the sum of all the interior angles of a triangle is equals to 180. Now for the quadrilateral, there are 4 sides. So 4 minus 2 into 180. This gives us the value 360. The sum of all the interior angles of a quadrilateral is equals to 360. Next we have a pentagon. So here we can keep the value of n as 5. 5 minus 2 into 180 gives us 3 into 180 equals to 540. This implies the sum of the angles of a pentagon is equals to 540. Similarly, the sum of the angles of a hexagon is equals to 720. We can find out the sum of the interior angles of any polygon as long as we know how many sides does the polygon has. Next, we have a quadrilateral. What is a quadrilateral, beta? You might have studied this in the junior class. A quadrilateral is a 4-sided polygon. Okay, the sum of whose interior angle is 360. Just now we saw the sum of the angles of a quadrilateral is equals to 360. Here also it is given. This is the definition of the quadrilateral. A 4-sided polygon is known as a quadrilateral. There are different types of quadrilateral. We have square, we have rectangle, we have rhombus, we have parallelogram. So there are 4 sides in a quadrilateral and also 4 angles. Next we have this table. This gives us the type of the quadrilateral and also states its properties. The first one we have parallelogram. The first quadrilateral we have is parallelogram. What are the properties of a parallelogram? In a parallelogram, the opposite sides are always equal and parallel. Opposite side means this side is equals to this side is equals to this side, and parallel means the lines which never intersect. So this line will never intersect with this line will never intersect with this line. Okay. So the opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal and parallel, and also the opposite angles, the angles which are in front of each other. This angle will be equal to this angle will be equal to this angle. If I may draw this here, see, This angle is opposite to this angle. Let's call this angle A. This as C. So angle A will be equals to angle C and angle B will be equal to angle D. Also, the opposite sides are equal and parallel. This implies AB will be equal to CD and AB will be parallel to CD. Also, AD will be equal to BC and AD will be parallel to BC. So this was about the parallelogram. Next we have a rectangle. Rectangle we have studied from the junior classes itself, right? In a rectangle, the opposite angles are equal and parallel. Again, the opposite sides are equal and parallel, and all the angles inside a rectangle are always of 90 degree. Next we have a square. Square is a quadrilateral where all the sides are equal and all the angles are of 90 degree. Okay. Next we have a rhombus. In rhombus also all the sides are equal. Okay. Opposite angles are equal. The opposite angles are equal here. All the sides are equal and the diagonals inside a rhombus, the diagonals always bisect each other at 90 degree. Bisect means the diagonals when they intersect, at whatever point they intersect, this is the point which divides the diagonal into two equal halves. Alright. So this was the special property of a rhombus. Next we have a trapezoid. We can also call this a trapezium. Okay. In a trapezium, one pair of opposite sides, just one pair. Okay, this side is parallel to this side, the other two sides are not parallel. So such a quadrilateral is known as a trapezium or a trapezoid. Okay, the last one we have a kite. In a kite, two pair of adjacent sides are equal. This means this side is equals to this side and this side is equals to this side. The adjacent sides, both the pairs of the adjacent sides are equal. Okay. One pair of opposite angles are also equal. Any one pair of opposite angles are equal. See here, this angle is equals to this angle. Here also the diagonals bisect each other and the diagonals intersect at 90 degree. The diagonals are bisecting each other and they are also intersecting at 90 degree.